Hello, everyone. I'm Abby Ham. Thanks so much for joining us on this WBIR Plus Education Special. Today, we're recapping your top school stories from across East Tennessee this week. Students in East Tennessee have had several days off from school recently, and it's been more than usual for some districts, with events from weather and Helene to illness outbreaks. We are tracking how many days each school district has set aside and what happens if those districts run out of days. 10 News reporter Olivia Daig has been in touch with more than a dozen school districts in our area, and many are asking for a waiver from the State Department of Education.
Schools have faced so many weather events or sicknesses, so now districts across East Tennessee are running out of their stockpiled days that they make at the beginning of the year, and many are requesting that the state waive some of those days so students don't have to come in on a holiday or another day where they're rescheduled to be off. Many students anxiously await hearing that phone call or getting the alert that school is canceled. But local school districts decide how many stockpile days they think they'll use when they make their calendar. They have to use those sparingly, or else they'll have to adjust their schedules. The Tennessee Department of Education says students have to be in school 180 days, but it's calculated by hours of instruction. Many districts add minutes to the end of a regular school day in preparation for canceling school. Knox County, for example, set aside 8 days, and as of now, they've used 7. But in more mountainous areas where slick roads and high elevations factor into a closing, even though these districts allotted 13 days for weather or sickness, the maximum by state law, they're still running out. Another factor this school year, Hurricane Helene. The storm closed some schools in Cock, Greene, and Unicoi counties for weeks. Most of these districts have applied for a waiver. Some might have to apply for another. Schools can also use virtual days. The state allows 2 per semester. Most districts that applied for waivers received them. The hope for many districts is to alter the schedule as little as possible, preventing students from coming in on a holiday or a weekend. Now today I spent time tracking the amount of days schools have used, how many are left, and what are their plans if they run out of days. And most districts I reached out to say their first plan is to apply for that waiver. Many of them have had them approved, but we do have a list of all the districts we've received responses for. You can see that online on WBIR.com.
Well, the State Board of Education is investigating a Sevier County teacher after reports he did not respect students' boundaries. The board formally reprimanded Scott Mulligan. He's an employee in the adult education program. And according to documents, the teacher pinched students' hands and arms to get their attention and also referred to students as pretty, sweetie, and baby doll. A spokesperson for the district says allegations of unprofessional conduct are always fully investigated. Right now, schools can make their own policies, including having a teacher take a student's phone until the end of class. But the new bill would require every school board and public charter school to have a cell phone policy in place. The policy would prohibit students from using phones during class unless a teacher allows it for educational purposes, or the student has an individualized education program or active 504 plan. Students also could use their phones if there is an emergency or for their health. And the policy would create a way parents and guardians would be notified if there is an emergency at their child's school. This week, a Senate Education Committee heard debate on the bill. Lawmakers in that committee ultimately decided to move the bill forward. On the House side, Education Committee members also voted to move the bill forward. Right now, the full House is expected to vote on the bill Monday, March 3rd. We don't know when the Senate will vote. A reminder, the House and Senate must both pass the bill in order for it to become law. In East Tennessee, 2 schools already ban personal electronic devices. At Morristown Hamblin West High School, all students are banned from using them during the day, and Emerald Academy students have to put their phones, AirPods, and smartwatches in pouches that they can open at the end of the day. Back in October, we talked to a teacher at Emerald who says the impact is obvious.
The biggest difference, I would just say, is student engagement, for sure. When you don't have that phone distracting you, you're not hurrying to get your work done so you can quick check your phone. You're not leaving class to go to the bathroom, go to the nurse, trying to get out of the classroom so you can quick check it.
Before the legislative session, lawmakers supporting the ban said it was meant to limit classroom distractions, to stop cyberbullying, and push healthier social habits as well. Also this week, the Campbell County Sheriffs announced every school resource officer now has an automatic external defibrillator, or an AED, on them. These are life-saving devices that assist people experiencing sudden cardiac arrest. Experts say it significantly increases survival chances. The sheriff says they received the devices through a grant. One of the largest book bans in the state is happening in Monroe County. District leaders say they removed more than 500 titles from school libraries to comply with the Age-Appropriate Materials Act. That bill was amended last year and says books in school libraries with nudity and sexual or violent content must be removed. 10 News reporter Olivia Day got the list from Monroe County.
We're talking about The Handmaid's Tale, Fahrenheit 451, and To Kill a Mockingbird. Those are just a few of the books on this list. Now, they could still be required classroom readings because this law only affects books in school libraries. Monroe County leaders say Tennessee state law deems those titles inappropriate. But for some parents, there are other titles on this list of 574 that are much more surprising.
I don't understand their reasoning for banning them now.
Books about the Holocaust, the Civil War, and the Ku Klux Klan all are on the long list of titles pulled from shelves in Monroe County Schools libraries. These titles join others on the list of 574 books. For perspective, that's 11 times the number Knox County removed. 48. Amendments to the Age-Appropriate Materials Act in 2024 say books with topics like excessive violence, nudity, and sexual conduct or violence should be pulled from library shelves.
Why isn't it being proposed that the Bible is removed from schools as well? Because it has plenty of violence and sexual assault.
The director of Monroe County Schools, Christy Windsor, declined an interview with 10 News twice, but provided a statement saying the books were removed to be in compliance with the law. But this mom wants to know why these titles.
I would like to know at what point they consider it to be too explicit or violent. Like, I don't feel like any of these books are exposing them to anything worse than what they expose each other to.
Windsor didn't answer and instead referred us to state legislators in this statement. But this mom says she worries how this will impact learning for her middle schooler and others in the district.
You just look at where we rank in education. It's very obvious that they're not making moves to try and better education for our kids.
Now, I also posted in a Monroe County Facebook page asking for opinions, and I got 218 responses. Some agreed with that mom. Others feel like some of these titles should have been removed.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue to recap your top school stories from this week. High school students in Knox County have a new path to a skilled career. The Skilled Trades Academy and Regional Training, or START Center, trains students for entry-level construction jobs. Aaron Velasquez talked to the instructors behind the course.
The course is a partnership between TCAT and KCS, and students can earn an NCCR core certification from the Associated Builders and Contractors of Greater Tennessee. It's that certification that gives students the capability to start entry-level construction jobs. An instructor from the START Center says students will learn everything from basic carpentry to the mathematics used in construction, all while earning dual enrollment credits at their high school and with TCAT.
Teach them how to actually measure and square something and read the tape measure, mark it out, cut it on the, the mitering saw. And then here we have a bunch of 2x4. We're actually going to be working with them on building some walls.
The program currently has 7 seniors from Central High School taking part.
Very cool.
Course is incredibly gratifying to me.
And then Ms. Marvel is just
This is awesome, too. Knox County Schools has named its High School Teacher of the Year, Keith Leonard. Congratulations, Mr. Leonard. He's an English language arts teacher at Fulton High School and helped bring comic books and superheroes into the classroom as a teaching tool. He also co-founded the Fulton Comic Club, which allows students to create and share their own comic books. Leonard says he's happy teaching students at Fulton how best to serve their community.
This classroom's where I want to stay until the last day that I work. And I want to be here in the room with the kids, teaching them communication skills and teaching them how to be a part of the community.
Leonard also sponsors Fulton's Key Club, which has logged more than 3,000 service hours since 2013. A middle school in Knoxville, meanwhile, is being recognized for pushing its students to higher education. Northwest Middle School designated as a model for implementing AVID. It's a college and career readiness system. Principal Joanne Gardner says the program helps students create organization and communication skills and learn how to stand up for themselves.
As a middle school kid, sometimes you don't always know how to use that voice because you still think that you're a kid, but you're also becoming a young adult. And so I think that's one thing that AVID does, is it gives kids the voice to be an advocate for themselves. You don't have to just be a 13-year-old. Like, you can continue to think about things past what's going on today.
The program helps students, no matter the grade, prepare for college and their next steps toward a career. The principal says being a demonstration school means other schools from around the world will see how they are helping students advocate for themselves. Second graders at Foothills Elementary in Maryville learned what it means to own your own business. From paper airplanes to Raccoon Rocky cookies, this market day tradition lets students see how they can grow a small business of their own. These students are getting ahead on their entrepreneurial careers. And one of our favorite weekly traditions is, of course, Cool Schools. Every week we check in with an East Tennessee school to hear all about the cool things they are doing on 10 News Today. And this week, Aaron Velasquez was at Pleasant Ridge Elementary School to see some of the cool things they are doing there.
Good morning, ladies. I'm having a great time. I'm sorry I flubbed the delivery on the joke of the day, but I do have a moustache ready to go. I'm joined by the architect behind that joke, Gemma Torres, cafeteria worker here. Gemma, tell us a little bit about what makes working at Pleasant Ridge so special.
The children. Obviously, all the children. They're special, they're great. They love coming down and saying hi. They love seeing our board. They love the joke of the day. My staff is just so loving with them. We care so much about them. So it's definitely the children. And of course the staff, they're wonderful to us.
I was going to say the children are special, but they wouldn't be here without you serving them the food. So tell me about the day-to-day. What makes your job so awesome?
Just putting love into the food that we serve to the kids, because for some kids, maybe it's the only food that they see for a couple hours. I don't know, but it's all about just delivery to them. And when they come through the line and they see the food and they're excited about it, we have a lot of kids that just love the vegetables, which just blows my mind. But we usually sell out of those first. So, it's great. It's just serving kids with love.
See, parents at home, if you hear that, your kids over here at Pleasant Ridge Elementary love their vegetables. They're definitely eating healthy here, all catered, of course, by Gemma Torres and her wonderful team here at the school. We'll continue to highlight everything they got going on, and in the future, in the next half hour, you might even see me play with some robots.
And I'm not sure who's having more fun here.
I don't know. He doesn't have the pointer anymore, but it looks like the students finally arrived, Aaron.
Joke's on you, Abby. This pointer is staying with me everywhere I go. But here, I'll point to where we're at now. Looking at the robotics program. This program came to Knox County Schools 6 years ago. Pleasant Ridge was one of the schools selected to have this, and students in the 4th and 5th grade take part in building these robots that then go on and be used in competitions throughout the school year. One of the things that they're working on now is this game where they take the robot, they scoop up a ball, and they catapult that ball hopefully into one of these goals. You see here knocking down one of those switches. Let's see if one of the kids can make it for us. Oh, just a near miss, but that's all right because they got another one coming my way. Let me see that. Oh, I got that catch.
Aaron's so good, has so much fun at those events. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, you can always get the latest headlines on WBIR.com with our 10 News app as well. And you can watch us every morning on Channel 10 starting at 4:27. Have a wonderful day.